Hi folks. Right, watercolour. This is on the £90 Winsor & Newton that Ken Bromley was knocking up very cheaply in 20 sheet packs for about £6. Very good stuff, very porous. I've wet it, I'm just waiting for it to soak in a bit. Oops. Okay, you can keep doing that. All the time your paper is spreading because you've only got it clipped. I wouldn't recommend putting any tape around this because it will just buckle in the middle and you'd be a hopeless surface. As it expands, just take a clip off, re-stretch it and carry on. Been up to town today, Leicester Square, and on Charing Cross Road there's an art shop called Cass Art. I didn't want a lot, but I wanted some ultramarine. I really didn't want to buy that size in Winton. It's the Winsor & Newton student quality, but it was a bit cheaper than the online varieties. Probably about £1 or so cheaper, but then it's free travel for us. And I bought one of their brand own titanium white, Cass Art titanium white, to try. I'll get very low on both of those colours, but they didn't do a range of Winton oil student colours, so I buy those locally or online. I've got the paper at about 30 degrees, which is about ideal, I suppose. I haven't got a clue what I'm going to do, but I'll start by putting a sky in, so get a bit of a wet release with the burnt sienna, raw sienna. So you can see it's drying already, drying in. It's very warm again. We haven't had the rain that we expected, which we would have loved, because everything is desert dry now. Over 5 weeks, nearly 6 weeks without rain. Right, let's put a bit more, a bit of red in there. My paints are quite sloppy because they've been in the Stay Wet palette. And we'll just put in a bit of streakiness, put some in there. Okay, now a bit of blue and a bit of red for a bit of cloud. That's lovely and loose. Bit of darker stuff here. You can do a lot of messing around with this paper when it's wet like this. It's very, very forgiving. Let's add a bit more of that yellow, raw sienna. And just a touch of red there. Okay. Right, let that dry for a bit. I do like hedgerows and that sort of stuff. I've got a cup of tea on the go and I haven't forget to drink it. So we left home about 9:20 this morning. I got back about 1 o'clock. Mostly travelling time, but that's extremely busy. We can get a train more or less direct into London, but our town is just a little bit away from the stations that go direct, so we have to go around the houses somewhat. Now I've lost my clip. Come on, it's got it. Right, well, another one, a bit smaller one here. Oh, one, there it is, look. Because I just wear reading glasses, I often miss these things. Okay, let's put a bit of a background of something in there. Go up a bit with the. Let's have a bit of blue, a bit of Payne's grey. Let's put a background in. A bit of Payne's grey with the ultramarine. Could make this out to be a local busy spot, Seven Islands. I've been there for a while. Seven Islands is on Mitcham Common. It's a large, very large pond and a sort of small lake. Okay, now we've got uphill. Right, is that? No, that looks a bit overexposed, so we'll change that a bit. Or a bit bright. No, not that. Let's take the exposure down a bit. That's more or less this, I think. Right, okay, so let's put in some, that is summer, so let's put in some good greens on that. So cadmium yellow, bit of Payne's, and over that we'll put in some trees, some green trees. And this is absolutely superb paper, but we can't get any more. If you can find a supply for it. I'll add, oops, some darks into that. But you can overpaint the underpainting with a much thicker paint. A bit of a grassy bank. Could put some good darks in there with sienna. But I haven't sorted out where I'm going to get the light from yet. Which side to put the shadow? Let's get the bank. We're still going uphill. Right, okay. Good. We'll have the light coming from there, I think. Too dark. Light come from there, and I'll put dark in so the light comes from there now. bit of Payne's grey and burnt sienna just for these darks. Now, to some extent, this will all bleed into the background. Right, let's put in some blue with that. Some darker trees. A bit of light. The other side of the brush. Oh, London's buzzing, especially around Parliament. Various demonstrations going on, of course, as always. And Trafalgar Square is sort of awash with people. Right, let's get a bit of reflection now. I've got this thing about going uphill. Whoops, sorry, move the camera. Oh, well, no, that's right. Right, chair wheels. My paint is very thick. But if you keep it wet, it will do that. The moisture in your stay wet box will keep it lovely and moist and usable, so you don't have to scrub away at it. Those darks in there. Well, brush is too dry. Put a bit of green in there. Alright. Let that dry off a little bit. We'll just put a little bit more of that shadow in, I think. Okay. Do I need to do any more? I've got the wrong colour in for these reflections, haven't I? Very dark green here. Okay, I might lift out a bit of a light line to separate the beach from anything else. Right, I'm going to dry that now, or take some of the wet out of it and drink a bit of tea. That's straight up. That it. Yeah, right. Right, mute your sound. Ready, go. and you can see the quality of this paper. £90, and you don't need to pre-shrink it. And I have to say that you couldn't do that on the Fabriano, on the cheaper Fabriano. I'm not knocking Fabriano. We just use a cheap studio paper because we do so much with it, and using quality paper like Arches or Saunders, heavier paper would be very expensive. So, but because this was a job lot, a special price, and there were two types. This is the last of the rough, but the other packets of not so rough are, well, I can't tell the difference between either of them, but I'm assured that we might be able to get some Bockingford, some nice weight Bockingford, and try that. But what I'm going to do with this is to put an island in there over that. I've done right, that's gone uphill again. That's, well, unless I can, so we go, see if I can just put in a bit of, dip the brush, a bit of dark along there, just to see if I can straighten up a bit. And use a cloth when you're doing this to take the excess moisture off your brush. There, that'll do. A bit blue, but not now. Oh, let's just, so I put a bit over that. Right, let's get some green on there. Just using for the green at the moment the Cad Yellow and Payne's Grey, but you don't want too much water on your brush. So we'll just put that in. Right, let's have another go. Put one here, just not the same size. It's got the dark counter change there. Right, okay, some dark in there. Okay, that's coming on. Right, okay, let's could put a bit of blue in, but I got a benefit from a bit of blue from the background. Don't want a lot, just enough to tint. Just show that bit of that background. Soften a bit. Okay, now let's put a little bit of a beach in here. Bit of umber, bit of blue. Put umber and blue bedfellows. Okay, let that dry a minute. A bit more tea, and I just put a bit of texture on it, a bit of growth, something just to create a foreground. Put a bit of branches, trunks in there. Well, actually, I can do that now, can't I? I'll use a sort of a darkish green. And we'll keep the trunks nice and thick because I've got to hold up a lot of canopy. I will just dot in. No, I'll do it. Let's try it. Okay, now that's dry. I can add a bit of a reflection. Very important to get your reflection more or less where you put them. Otherwise, it looks a little bit wrong. Okay, all right. While we're at it, brilliant. do. Right. Some more silhouette trunks in here. Put that back there. Come down from the base of that. Okay, that'll do. That's more or less dry or dryish. It's going to be a reclip. To put a little bit of detail on. It's all pebbly stuff. Right, a bit of grass. Yeah, when you're painting washing wet, the paper does the work for you, but here we're working on dry paper, rough paper, so you have to work a bit harder. Right, I'd like to put a mount on it. I'll actually finish this before my tea's gone stone cold. That one there. I love the sky, I must say that's come out well. Not because anything I've done to it, but it's the paper. And at the shallower angle, it tends to granulate. The blue, especially the blue and the red, they're wonderful in skies, together mixed, as a cloud colour because they do separate, and you can get the same effect from burnt umber and ultramarine and black and burnt sienna. There are various combinations, and it's a lovely thing to do. But I want all of that to show, so I'm going to use the big glue now. Look, Harry the cat has been chewing it, look, putting his teeth through. Oh, there we are. Not worried about this. That is a demonstration after all. Let's just come down a bit more and show that. That's a bit regular, isn't it? So let's just change that. Just connect it up a bit. Otherwise we've got two things looking the same, and we don't like symmetry, do we? Right, okay. So that'll dictate where I put the mount. So I'll have the mount quite low. Well, there. Right, now I've lost any clips. Now. So there we are, Mitcham Common, 7 Islands, or an impression of, from memory. I think the picture is fine. It looks quite contrasty. So thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.